first degree as a consideration. Thank you.
Member for Homa Bay.
Honorable Chair, I support the committee's amendment, more so to clause 3, where they are proposing that the term of service be reduced from 4 to 3 years so that it accords with the Mwongozo guidelines. That I support, Honorable Chair. But Honorable Chair, I tend to believe that the qualifications, the academic qualification or the qualification criteria being established in clause 4 is unduly restrictive. Honorable Chair, the Director General is to lead in administration, is not to lead in preparation of drugs, pharmaceuticals, or in the application. Honorable Chair, we are past the time where the clerk of the House, for instance, had to be a lawyer, where the Speaker of the House, particularly in the County Assembly, had to be a lawyer. Anybody who can lead a board in terms of being their executive should be opened for leeway to lead. So I would request the chair to, remove the specification in terms of pharmacy to somebody who has done administration or management, or anybody who has served at management level, including in Parliament here, can be in charge of this body, because they are not the ones to do the chemicals and to manufacture them. I thank you, Honorable Chair.
I'll give the chair first. Honorable Chair, to respond to the issues that have been raised. Before the chair, I'll give Member for Seme.
I think for part A, you really must, that is one who must be there, that if you really are going to be a Director General, you must have the basics of pharmacy. And that is why you have the first degree. When you come to B, you have actually opened it so that other people, so long as they have that, there are people now who have pharmacy, but they may also have another degree in administration, in law. Those people now are open. But for that one, I think we should leave it as it is.
Chair. But what is any relevant fact?
Honorable TJ.
That is what opens it.
What is any relevant?
Chair, I'm enjoying this discourse between my learned friend, Honorable Kaluma, and my senior doctor beside me here. But in this house we must agree on things. When it comes to lawyers, everybody says that not, and Honorable Murugara, please listen to me. Honorable Murugara, please listen to me. The chairman beside you is diverting your attention, if you don't mind, because this relates to JLAC. Yes. When it comes to lawyers, Honorable Chair, they say that not only lawyers must be chairmen, or must be CEO, or must be this and that. But when it comes to medicine, my doctor, who is next to me here, is very forceful that only people who have read pharmacy can only do these things. Now we have to be very consistent in these things. I know that lawyers have a problem in terms of how the society view them. But time has come when we have to be consistent in our policy. I neither support Kaluma, nor do I support the member for Seme. But this house must take a position.
Honorable TJ. Thank you. Chair. Your reaction to members' issues that have been raised.
Chair, this has been subjected to public participation. And when you look at the qualifications, where we are saying holding a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from a university recognized in Kenya, and then with that must be a basic requirement, because not just, this is a WHO also requirement for this National Medical Regulatory Authority to be able to qualify for us to be in level 3, maturity level 3. Therefore, you cannot lower the standards for it and just open it to say that anybody can become the CEO of this organization. I think we must also live up to the expectations.
Thank you. Honorable Warren Bayer.
I support the amendments by the chair. Honorable Speaker, and that Clause 6 be part of the bill. And I would like to also say that I believe what TJ is saying. Where organizations must be led by lawyers, they must be led by lawyers. And where organizations must be led by pharmacists, they must be led by pharmacists. I think we need to professionalize our way of doing things. And therefore, I would like, if an organization needs to be led by a pilot, let it be led by a pilot. If it needs to be led by a teacher, let it be led by a teacher. So let's give the pharmacists the opportunity to lead this pharmaceutical organization.
You've made your point. Honorable Gekaria.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, as I rise to support Dr. Pukose, but at the same time I agree with TJ Kajwang. I had an opportunity of IEBC where they said the chair must be a lawyer of, I don't know, High Court, I don't know.
So, Honorable Gekaria, are you supporting the chair? You cannot support the chair and TJ at the same time.
All I'm just
on this
saying,
one. Honorable Member for Diwa. Here, member for Diwa for a minute, then I'll give you Honorable Kalu.
If TJ and JL, I could not get that. This is technical. This is highly technical, and you cannot have anybody without basic degree in pharmacy to do it. So I support it.
Honorable Dr. Gogo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. I like the way this has generated quite a bit of involvement, but for heaven's sake, I want to support the chair that let pharmacies run their own business. And as it were, the qualifications that have been put forth by the chair, I support all of them. When it comes to, Honorable Chair, when it comes to matters where
we will hear all of you members, just
where you have lawyers lead certain organizations, or when it is open to the public, that would do, or any other disciplines. But for this particular one, let us give these pharmacists a chance, for heaven's sake.
Thank you, Honorable.
Chair.
Thank you, Member for Rangwe. Honorable Member for Homa Bay Town. And Honorable Kajwang, you have already made your point on this one. Honorable Kaluma.
Yeah, Chair, I am persuaded by the Chair that the nature of this work requires a specialized person. But Honorable Chair, may I then request the mover to delete the phrase "or any relevant field" from a university, because if we are saying it should be pharmacists or medics, then what is any relevant field? Would I request, if we are keeping it to pharmacy or medicine or medical related courses, this any relevant field opens it wide. Could it be removed? I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable members, let us be orderly. If you're willing to speak on these interventions, Member for North Imenti.
Chair, I agree with the Chair of Health, and to answer Honorable Kaluma's point, it says initially you have to have a bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and after that in the master's is when you can be in any other field besides pharmacy and medicine. So Chair, you know, in the 2010 Constitution, the lawyers had it all their way. They put themselves in each and every commission and every sector of the government. So, Chair, lawyers have had it well. Now let the other people have it as well. Thank you, Chair.
Member for Runyenjes.
Thank you, Chair. On this particular field, Honorable Chair, I want to support the Chair of the committee or the mover, since his proposal is that we have a person who has a bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and Honorable Chair, a person can have a bachelor's degree in pharmacy but still possess another qualification that is of related field. So, Honorable Chair, I support the mover.
Thank you. Member for Luanda.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. On this one, Madam Chair, I want to support the Chair because professionals go to school to acquire technical skills for a given field. And therefore, having a technical person heading this is very important. Therefore, I support that the professionals should actually be honored.
Thank you.
Therefore, support this.
Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo.
Chair, first I support the chair of the committee. And in truth, Honorable Dawood has explained it. Because as I understand this, the first is a basic degree in pharmacy. But thereafter, you are allowed to have a second master's degree in anything. You can even have an MBA. You can have anything else, which then will speak to the skills that we were talking about, so it's not inconsistent. Having said that, Chair, secondly, it would be outrageous to have a chief executive who does not have a basic degree in pharmacy, and yet down there in clause 8, you are insisting the board chair must have a degree in pharmacy.
Thank you.
And yet this is the technical one. But Madam Chair, Honorable Dawood should withdraw what he has said. Honorable Dawood has suggested that the lawyers created all the offices for themselves, and I was part of those who wrote the constitution, and it is not true. Did Honorable Dawood want doctors to be judges in the High Court and Supreme Court? Absolutely not. So to that extent, I agree with Honorable T.J. Kajwang. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question. Before I put the global question, there was a proposed amendment by Honorable Oluoch, Anthony Oluoch. But the import of carrying the proposal by the chair makes yours fall, Honorable Oluoch.
Oh,
sorry.
Apologies, Madam Chair. When I was making my interventions initially, I was speaking to my amendments. I later realized that the amendments were the amendments as put in the order paper by the chair and the committee. My issue was on clause 6, particularly the clause that deals with, I think, C, that deals with the 15 years experience. So you have guided, Madam Chair. I don't know whether I can still prosecute or the import of...
The import is that it falls, actually.
It falls.
Yeah.
I'm guided.
Okay, I will now put the question that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Mover?
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper. This is to correct a typographical error. Because what we're doing here is that we in paragraph 7 of the bill, we amended F by deleting the words Act, regulation under this and substitute therefore the words regulation under this Act. It's just typographical error.
Allow me to propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Kaluma.
Honorable Chair, this clause requires further amendments, and it is the clause I'd signify to the Speaker would propose amendments for. Honorable Chair, while at least I support the amendment of the committee, Honorable Chair, look at clause 7A and B, and whether they should be necessary. Honorable Chair, you know we are a House of Parliament. We cannot be sitting to be legislating against ourselves, even where it is not necessary. Honorable Chair, when you say a person shall not qualify for the position of Director General if the person is a member of Parliament or is a member of the County Assembly, number one, can you qualify if indeed you are sitting? I'm saying that in addition to the amendments the mover is proposing, clause 7A and B be also deleted on its own moving, because it serves no purpose. It is obvious I cannot engage in any other thing under the Constitution if I'm a member of Parliament. You cannot engage in any other thing from which you can gain under the Constitution if you are a member of the County Assembly, because in both cases you are a state officer under Article 260 of the Constitution. So this spirit in which as Parliament we keep shouting against ourselves, even where it yields no substantive benefit, is not necessary. I therefore support the mover's amendment but I request him to further amend clause 7 by deleting subclause A and B. If he does not, we will reject the whole clause. I thank you, Chair.
Let's start with the member for Mathare. Are you on this?
Yes, Madam Chair, I was particularly, I had a proposed amendment to begin with, and I support the part that seeks to add the word persons with disabilities on the question of, in terms of its being in compliance or in tandem with the provisions of the Constitution. So to the extent that it would seek to include the persons with disabilities, I would propose or agree that the issues of persons with disabilities be included.
Thank you, Honorable Owen Baya. But I'm not sure you're prosecuting the same issue.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Baya.
I am wondering where those amendments by Kaluma and Olocha, because what we have on clause 7, we do not have any amendments by Honorable Kaluma.
Are we on clause 7 or clause 8? 7. Okay.
Yes, on clause 7. Does he have? But where are the further amendments? No. I understand the idea of further amendments. But they are not on record. They are not on record, those amendments. Where? Where are they on record?
Honorable Tiende.
Thank you. Chair, I want Honorable Kaluma, let me help Honorable Owenbai understand the earlier ruling by the substantive speaker.
Yes.
As the speaker ruled, there are some of us who had written for amendments, but they were not incorporated in this order paper. But the speaker ruled that we can introduce them, including one that I will introduce, because the speaker had accepted them. That is why Honorable Kaluma is able to suggest a further amendment. But in any case, sometimes when it is necessary to help an omission, and provided the mover is in agreement, there is no harm in introducing a further amendment if Dr. Pukosi agrees. So let me say two things, Chair. First, I agree with Honorable Kaluma to this extent, because necessarily, once you are serving as a member of parliament or a member of the county assembly or in the county executive, you cannot hold another office such as this. So whether you state it or not, you are not qualified. But to mention it, it's as if there's something particularly against a member of parliament. Because we could as well have mentioned that if you're a cabinet secretary, you do not qualify. If you're in any other office, you do not qualify. And that's why I thought we could leave it. But Dr. Pukosi, with your permission, I would like to persuade you that while I support the amendment on its own, there are two other small amendments you need to make on that clause 7. One is, if you look at 7B, it says is convicted of an offense. I'm sure you should read has been convicted, because that's the disqualification. Otherwise, it does not become a disqualification. Yes. Secondly, in E, a salaried employee, it should be is a salaried employee. I would persuade you to consider those two further amendments.
Thank you, Honorable Tiende. Maybe for the people with for the members with other amendments, I have here that has been given by the speaker from Honorable Tiende. Honorable Kaluma would like to know whether yours is on record, the amendments, so that we also consider to be on record. Honorable Kajwang.
Honorable Mbaya, you know, we are in this house to legislate. We cannot be derogative to ourselves. First, whatever it is, we cannot start abusing ourselves. It looks very bad out there that we are abusing ourselves. The only point we are making, Honorable Pukosi, is that a member of parliament, by its own nature, by act of the constitution itself, cannot work as a CEO or an administrator in this way. So every legislation must have an intention. What would be the intention of this if you ask Deputy Speaker? What would be the intention of a statement to say that something which is obvious and which is constitutional we specifically refer to it if we are not just derogating ourselves, if we are not just abusing ourselves. This is what I'm saying. Nothing should proceed from this house in which we are saying that there is something so wrong with member of parliament, that a member of parliament is so questionable that he should not be able to do this thing, yet the constitution itself has said so. So what is it? Otherwise, we are going to produce legislation in which we put ourselves at the point of did I say, if I say foolishness, that would be unparliamentary. No, it's not unparliamentary. We would be foolish. Yes, we would be foolish. We would just be foolish, yes. Unwise.
Yes, that's better. Honorable Kaluma, I would like to hear your amendments, if they're on record, because what I have here is different.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I support the amendment by the committee, and I was thinking, Honorable Chair, yes, Honorable Chair, I was thinking that the best way to approach it, Honorable Chair, I was personally proposing complete deletion of 7, but I'm persuaded that the amendment by the committee will improve this provision. I would therefore suggest, in line with our standing orders, that you first put the question in relation to the amendment by the committee. Then you allow me room to move an amendment instead of deleting, to delete 7A, B, and to add the word has at D, so that it is a person who has been convicted, not is convicted who is unqualified. So I would propose, Chair, that the right procedure is that you put question on the amendment by the committee, then you permit me to move the amendment instead of deleting.
So, Chair, Honorable Kaluma, you'll be moving an amendment, a further amendment to the amendment. That then will be a bit neater. Okay, members, I will put the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Kekaria.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just to get your guidance, Honorable Chair, so that for purposes of procedure and moving fast, what Honorable Kaluma was asking is for the chair to move a further amendment as the chair, if he agrees with Kaluma. Instead, if that would happen, then it would be faster, instead of asking again Kaluma to go and move a further amendment. And also what Otiende had also requested, if the chair so agrees, that is. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Chair.
Honorable Baya.
Of the debate, and so that we understand how we are moving. It's important that if Honorable Kaluma had amendment, and I heard the Speaker very clearly say that there are certain amendments that he has approved to be brought, although they came late, but he has approved that they be brought to the House. I am happy if those are brought, so that we do not make amendments, or we do not open the whole act for amendments because the Speaker has said he has allowed amendments. If we did that, then everybody would introduce amendments in this bill on the floor, and it is unprocedural.
Honorable Dawood. Just to guide the House members, there were some members who submitted amendments late. By the standing orders, it was after 2 p.m. You should do it before. But the Speaker made a ruling that even if they were seen after, we will indulge them. But we have to see the amendments. That is the point. we have to see. Right now, the amendments I have is only for Dr. Otiende Amolo. Member for North Imenti.
Chair, I would request the chair to make a slight amendment what Dr. Amolo has suggested and Honorable Kaluma, where it says is a member of parliament who can get it on resignation. You see, you could be appointed to be a director general at that time you are an MP, but you can resign from being an MP to become a director general. So, Chair, that could be done as well, a further amendment, but that would have to be done by the chair himself.
Member for Viwa.
Chair, when you have resigned, you are not a member of parliament, so that's out of question. But I wanted you to give us a guidance. These amendments coming from the floor all the time, we will not finish this. But if they were submitted, by as the speaker said, let's have that guideline.
Yes, let's have them.
Honorable Kaluma.
Yes, Chair, I've submitted my amendments through the committee clerk, Madam Malina Hiro. I think she has gone to check them at the desk of the Speaker. But may I then say this, Honorable Chair? Honorable Chair, may I therefore move, as we wait for that amendment, that you declare Clause 7A and B outright unconstitutional and they be annulled from this bill. And I'm saying this, Chair. These clauses say that if you are a member of parliament, in clause A, and in B, if you are a member of the county assembly, you cannot be the director general of the authority being proposed here. Honorable Chair, I'm saying this is unconstitutional under a petition because under Article 260 of the Constitution, a member of parliament and a member of the county assembly are state officers. And under Chapter 6 of the Constitution, a member of parliament and a member of the county assembly are already disqualified from holding any other position from which they can be in gainful employment. So that this provision flies in the face of the Constitution straight away. That without even amendment, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I request that this Clause 7A and Clause B be removed. Lastly, on Clause D, Honorable Chair, when you say is convicted, when you are drawing a law in relation to qualifications, this means you'll be waiting for them to be convicted upon taking the job. And so it should be, has been convicted. So if they are not being amended as we wait for our copy of the proposed amendments, Honorable Chair, would you declare them null and void, in which case you don't need to nullify them yourselves, and you put the question, we pass this clause with those amendments.
Honorable Kaluma, you know you're trying to bring your amendments through the back because I've not seen them, but I'll give Honorable Elachi, then I'll give the chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to support that indeed for this House, looking at how members of parliament have been treated in other appointees, where we made sure we said a member of parliament cannot be either a commissioner until 5 years, it has really affected many of the members who have left this House. So the moment you bring it in, if you walk into a judge's court and he decides to interpret it in his way, Madam Speaker, you will, any member who is now no longer a member of this House will not get the job. So, Madam Speaker, we must agree in this House that that is a clause that will ensure, it will infringe in very many people's lives who would wish to do other jobs when they are finished being members of parliament. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair Committee of Health.
Chair, having listened to the Speaker's ruling, I think the Speaker said there were those who presented the amendments late, and he approved those amendments, and I think they should be with the office of the Speaker. if a member wanted to make a further amendment, the speaker also said they should also consult the chair. In D, where Honorable Tienda Molo had proposed a further amendment that has been convicted, I think that is an improvement to what is there. And in E, is a salaried employee. I think those two amendments, I agree with them. When you look at A and B, this has been picked from the Constitution. And I think whether we use it or don't use it, it doesn't make any difference, because in the Constitution 2010, it speaks of a person shall not qualify for position if you are a member of parliament or a member of county assembly or county executive committee. So for me, I think I want to agree with the further amendment by Honorable Tienda Molo on D, if he can move it properly, neatly, and then E and D and E. I would wish that he can move those amendments and then we prosecute it. It's just procedure. Otiende, you can move those amendments.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Pukose, if I hear you right, Honorable Pukose, and maybe Honorable Gladys, please give us a minute. I talk to Honorable Pukose for a minute. Chair, if I hear you, you are agreeing with the amendments that have been proposed on D. On D. Honorable Kaluma, I have your amendments from the table office, and yours was to delete the whole entire clause 7. Yes? Clause 7, that it was to be a deletion. Yes? Because what I think, Chair, are you agreeing with the amendments that you move as a further amendment yourself by Honorable Tiende? On D, yes? On D and E. And Honorable Kaluma? Yes, you have the mic.
Yes, Chair, I'd proposed, as I said before, the complete deletion of clause 7. But you remember I said, if there is improvement, we may go from deletion to sustaining it. And that is why I was saying, I would support the amendment. It's a give and take at this stage.
So if Honorable Tiende moves,
yes,
do you support Honorable Tiende's amendment?
I will support.
Yes.
Even the committee.
If Honorable Tiende's amendment is taken up by the committee, you drop yours. Is that what you're saying?
I will drop mine, but I will also seek a further amendment to clause 7 by deleting A and B. Okay. And if they don't do that, you will allow me to move it.
Honorable Tiende.
Further amendment is a simple one. We come to clause 7, B. Instead of saying is, we delete is and say has been. In E, add the word at the beginning is a salaried employee. I so move, Madam Chair.
Therefore, members, I propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by Honorable Tiende Amolo. As further amended by Honorable Tiende Amolo. Honorable members, there is a leeway for debate at this point, so it's okay. Yes. Honorable TJ, what is out of order?
What's out of order is how we are following our standing orders. We are in a conundrum. Honorable Otinda Molo has made a proposal, and he had already written that letter, and you have it. So his amendment is correct. Honorable Kaluma also has an amendment, and he has written it, and you are with him. Whether it is deletion or not, if you go to the standing orders, the priority one must follow, in my view, is that we start with what is the hierarchy of those amendments. So if we start with Honorable Otiende's, then as further amended by Honorable Kaluma, because Kaluma intended to delete the whole thing. So he can be heard on any of those sections that we are talking about, just in case that he had written his letter to the Speaker, which he has confirmed he did. And so I want to confirm what has not been said here also, is that if you say that members of Parliament and the members of County Assembly should not do or should do something, it is also discriminatory. Why are you choosing members of Parliament? Why are you not talking about cabinet ministers? It is discriminatory. The law itself is unconstitutional because it is discriminatory. You are picking on a specific people and you're choosing on them. Why would you want to legislate against yourself? Why on earth would you want to legislate yourself against something which is discriminatory?
Chair.
Honorable TJ, I think you're preempting because we have agreed, and I heard Honorable Kaluma very well, that Honorable Otiende will move a further amendment on D, and you will move yours as amended on A and B, then we will put a global question. Yeah, let us proceed like that, honorable members. So I will not. So, honorable members, how we will proceed? I will put the question on the further amendment by Honorable Otiende. Then I will allow Honorable Kaluma to move the amendment on A and B. Then a further amendment. Then we will put a global question. Okay? So I will now put the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Otiende Amolo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now allow Honorable Kaluma to move.
Honorable Chair, I hope Honorable Kajwang is learning. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 of the bill be further amended by deleting clause 7A and deleting clause 7B. Honorable Chair, I move this this amendment because having clause A and B are superfluous. These two offices are already prohibited.
You are moving the deletion of paragraph A and paragraph B
only
of clause 7.
Only.
Good. I now propose the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Peter Kaluma. I put the question that clause 7 be further amended as proposed by Honorable Peter Kaluma. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now put the global question that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Where is the schedule? It has many. I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover. Chair.
Honorable Chair, I move that clause 8 be amended as per the order paper. Clause 8A in subclause 1 by deleting the words Kenya drugs and substituting therefore Kenya Health Products and Technologies Regulatory. This in line with the name of the board, which should reflect the amended title of the bill and name the authority as proposed for amendment. In B, by deleting subclause 2 and substituting therefore the following new subclause 2, the board shall comprise A, a non-executive chairperson appointed by the president and who shall 1, be a registered pharmacist of good standing with a degree in pharmacy. 2, have at least 10 years experience in the pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be a senior management level. B, the principal secretary in the ministry for time being responsible for health or a representative designated in writing. C, Principal Secretary, the Ministry for the time being responsible for finance or representative designated in writing. D, the Director General for Health or a representative designated in writing. E, one person nominated by the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya. F, one person nominated by the Kenya Pharmaceutical Association. Those are two different associations. One is degree holders, the other one is diploma. G, one person nominated by the Kenya Medical Association. H, one person not being a governor with knowledge and experience in health products and technologies nominated by the Council of County Governors to represent the interests of counties. I, one person not being a public officer representing consumer protection nominated by the Consumer Federation of Kenya. And J, the Director General of the authority who shall be a secretary and an ex-officio member of the board. The composition of the board should comply with the Mongoso Code of Governance for State Corporations in terms of numbers, skill mix, and professional expertise, which should include all relevant players involved in the matters of health products and technologies. In C, delete clause 3 and substitute therefore the following new subclause 3. 3, that the cabinet secretary shall appoint the members of the board under subsection E, F, G, H, and I by notice in the Gazette. The members of the board members are not state officers, and hence their appointments does not require approval by Parliament. It's sufficient that the cabinet secretary notifies the public of the appointments in the Kenya Gazette. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I now propose a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable Baya, are you on this? Okay. Honorable Onwatch, are you on this?
Chair, mine was on clause 8.7, which is not part of what the chair has proposed to amend. So I would be asking that I be given an opportunity to prosecute on clause 8.
Okay, let us deal with the chair's amendment first. Honorable Kaluma.
Yeah, Chair, these amendments by the chair is diluting very good provisions already put in terms of qualifications and the appointment process for both the chairperson and the members. Honorable Chair, you know these board chairs and the other appointments have been tribalized in the recent past. Honorable Chair, we were just debating the other day here the matter of employees at Kenya Revenue Authority. Honorable Chair, you see also what is happening at Teacher Service Commission, where some areas have employed teachers up to those who graduated in 2022, regions like mine up to 203. Honorable Chair, this is why we need, for instance, clause 8, subclause 3, which says when you are going to deal with the appointment of the chairperson and even the members of this important board, and let us agree it is very important, let us subject them to parliamentary approval to confirm that those ideals undergirding public service in terms of the face of the nation and the qualification set are adhered to. Chair, if you look at clause 8, subclause 2 in the bill, it is very clear the president is going to appoint. But the qualification criteria has also been set very clearly under A, 1, and 2. What the committee is doing by the amendments to that provision, if you look at them, is to dilute this qualification criteria. And Chair, just look at them. Do you want me to read them? Honorable, in 8.2a, a non-executive chairperson appointed by the president who shall, at 1, be a registered pharmacist of good standing with a degree in pharmacy and have at least 10 years experience in pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be at a managerial level. Chair, if you go to how it is being amended now, 2A1 is being reiterated. I hope the chair is with me. It is a repetition. And then 2A2 have at least 10 years experience in pharmaceutical sector, 5 of which shall be at senior managerial level. Chair, the question is, what is being amended? Nothing. So you leave the bill as it is. I thank you, Chair.
Chair, Honorable Kaluma, if I look at the bill and the amendment doesn't have to be in 2A. There are other sections under 8 that are being amended. Yeah, from B all the way to J. Chair.
Chair, my issue is an issue of neatness. If you are not amending by deletion or substitution, you don't need to amend.
Honorable Tiende.
Yeah.
I had proposed amendments which I'll be moving, and I've actually shared with Dr. Pukose, and I think we're in agreement. But only on the issue that has been spoken to first. The difference I see in what's being amended, proposed for amendment, and what's there is the idea of approval of Parliament. In the bill as presented, there is the requirement of the Cabinet appointing with the approval of Parliament. The essence of the amendment is to remove that bit of approval of Parliament. Secondly, Chair, when I identify the clauses that are allowed for the Cabinet Secretary to appoint without, it's E, F, G, H, and I. As I see it, those are clauses where other bodies will have nominated the person. So that even if we don't approve by Parliament, the responsibilities for those other bodies. It would actually be wrong for, say, the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya to nominate their person, then it's brought here, then we reject, So for me, that's why I have no problem with amendments as proposed. But with your permission, Madam Chair, could I move the amendments that I had proposed, and it's only in one clause?
Not yet, Honorable Tiende Molo.
Thank you.
In fact, yourself and Honorable Luoch will do, but let us prosecute this amendment first. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Giving me another one. All right. Honorable Chair, I've listened to the proposed amendments, and I have concerns with the chairperson's qualifications. Honorable Chair, while I do agree that we need very specific qualifications for the CEO, I think for the chair of the board normally is for policy and strategic direction. On a serious note, we have so many parastatals in this country. I don't think we've gone to that extent of defining the qualifications for the chair. Why do we want to treat this special board as a special board? I think for the chair, let's leave it open. Someone who can really chair a board and provide policy and strategic direction for this important authority. And it will be done. I really would want to plead with the chairperson to drop this requirement where you have a CEO who is a pharmacist, and you want a chairperson who is also a pharmacist. We are going to have a conflict of interest and more so a lot of, and it's an executive chair, really. Thank you, chairperson.
Chair. Before the chair, Honorable Gikaria.
Honorable Chair, I stand to support the amendment by the chair. Honorable Speaker, if I look at even in other areas, I think the president, actually it came today in the morning when we were looking at a bill. It is the president who appoints a chairperson, and that should not change with this only. And others, it is where he appoints the chairperson. So I totally agree with the chair, Dr. Pukose, on this, that we leave it. And secondly, as Kaluma had indicated that there is nothing to amend, I think the order paper reads very clearly that by deleting subclause 2 and substituting with a new, so I think what Honorable Dr. Pukose, the chair of Health, has said, I totally agree with it. Thank you, Honorable.
Member for Seme.
Chair, there's a principle here I would like us to look at. It's very general, not just here. The issue where we are saying that the chair needs to be a pharmacist, and then we put years of experience in management. The truth is, most of us can actually manage. And when you go to get management, you can manage anything. But the other truth is, if you're managing something where you have an experience in, it is totally different. In fact, if you have people at a higher level, say the chairman's level, who has no inkling in what the technical issue is, basically the people who then run the institution are actually the directors. And many times we have experienced, we have seen it in the NHF, we have seen it anywhere, where they actually misdirect the chair because the chair depends on them for understanding the intricacies. So what I support is that at this level of chair, the need for management and experience in management is key. But what makes that important is your past experience in the same field. So I think it's a principle that we should hold when we'll be having others. So actually, that was the committee's position, and therefore I support the committee's position.
Honorable Elachi.
Chair, while I agree and disagree, this is a board. And in every board, we believe that every person brings in different ideas and how to build this board. Now, you've given us all who have just pharmacists. What about the trends that are happening in the country? What about an IT person? What about, because I believe in every board, that is why the boards are put, you must have different, you must have a financier, you must have, but if we put everyone from one, and let me ask, the ones who are going to be appointed by the cabinet secretary, so those ones, and you know today you have this one, tomorrow you have a different one. I believe the chair can have good governance.
Thank you, Honorable Elachi. Honorable Baya.
I want to agree with Honorable Dr. Nyikal, who has been once a principal secretary and also Director General of Medical Services. Gentlemen and honorable members, I want to say this. If you look at the people that are coming in, E, F, G, H, there are people who are well versed in these areas, very well. You do not want to put a chair that who will be the only person who has no knowledge on pharmacists. He will be swamped by the ideas of these people, and you also do not want to put a Director General with a chair who may not even understand. I want to push that principle that pharmacists manage from this organization in such a way that the board chair needs to even be a stronger pharmacist than any other person there, for us to ensure the problems we have in this country in some of these parastatals is where we have people who have no knowledge in the areas they are appointed in, completely managing entities, and you think that you'll have efficiency. Honorable Chair, we need to put our stamp down and tell them that pharmacists, if we are going to have a Director General who is a pharmacist, the chairman should even be a more qualified pharmacist. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member for Nyeri Town, Honorable Maina Mathenge.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm a member of the committee and I'm supporting the chair's and the committee's amendment. Yes. Chair, the pharmacy, the practice of pharmacy is not any other ordinary practice. We are putting our own lives on the line. We are putting the lives of our people on the line. Chair, the presence of a knowledgeable person in this area in terms of the decisions of the board is key and is paramount, and the knowledge and the experience should match the knowledge of all the other technical people in that area. In
Honorable CNN, stop shouting at the chair. Have your card ready, I will see you. Honorable DMM, you're finished?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, the next one I'll give the member for Kiminini, Honorable Bisau Kakai.
Thank you, Chair. While I support what the Chair has brought on the floor, I'd also like to state that the problem we have today in the medical sector is an issue where we talk about pharmacists without looking at the end of the chain. If we are talking of a pharmacist with some medical supply chain experience, is good. Today we are talking of medicine in our warehouses, whereby yes, you get a pharmacist, drugs are there, they can even tell you the composition in terms of chemical composition, but to move it from point A to point B, to ensure that there is a steady supply chain. So to me, Chair, I would wish that yes, we talk of a chair who is a pharmacist, but with some medical supply chain experience, so that you merge the two. We get a chair who understands the composition of the drugs and the items, but can also ensure that the items move to the place.
You've made your point. Member for Tinderet.
Chair, I rise to support the chair of the committee and what the majority have just put it. The problem we have in KEPSA is a result of appointing non-professional officers, people who do not understand some of the issues that are going on. If you don't have a pharmacist to understand pharmacology and the drug chain in the whole sector, it will actually be a problem. I want to ask that the members, we support what the chair has just put across, and it is actually very self-explanatory and is very clear. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Kaluma.
Chair, Clause 8 speaks to the appointment of a non-executive chair by the President. Remember, Chair, we had said the Director General is the Chief Executive. Yes. It's a technical person. Yeah. The non-executive chair, the word non-executive is being put there so that it's not in terms of execution or enforcement. His is to give leadership and to chair. We cannot be restricting the President so much that the board cannot operate other than with a pharmacist. Chair, I anticipate a board. If you can chair this house in plenary the way you are doing so well, Chair, why can't you chair this board? Yes. We are seeing a situation here, Chair, if you look at Clause 5, Clause 6 going down, where work is being made for pharmacists. The initial Clause 5 included even engineers, because we had even medical technological appliances and equipment. That one has been deleted. Pharmacy everywhere, including in chairing a meeting. What are you doing now, Chair?
You want to be informed by the Deputy Speaker?
I request that we either delete this, or Chair, you allow me.
Do you want to be informed?
My amendment to delete this entire.
Do you want to be informed by Honorable Gladys Boss, the Deputy Speaker?
The Honorable Speaker taught me I'll always be glad to be informed.
Honorable Gladys Boss.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, Chairperson. Yes, I think we are losing the objective of this particular bill. The objective of this bill is to move Kenya from maturity level 1 to maturity level 3 at a minimum, but we actually want to achieve maturity level 4. The reason why we have not achieved maturity level 3 is because, according to the WHO Global Benchmarking Tool, we are allowing pharmacy technologists to hold certain positions and to be involved in the regulation. All we are doing by putting the word pharmacist is to ensure that we meet the WHO standards. That way Kenya can become competitive and be able to sell its drugs manufactured in Kenya to the entire world. At the moment, we are only selling to Uganda and maybe Burundi. And if you, just for you to tell you, Kenya's regulatory capacity now, as our law is, if we don't amend this today, we are going to remain at the maturity level 1. I can tell you which countries are maturity level 1. Somalia, Burundi, Uganda, and Kenya. Currently, the countries that are maturity level 3 is Egypt, South Africa, Tanzania, Ghana, and Nigeria. And today, Tanzania, within the next 6 months, will be maturity level 4. Within the next 6 months, Rwanda shall be maturity level 4. So Kenya shall lag behind and never be able to export its drugs manufactured here in Kenya, all because, and vaccines, all because we have not made sure that we are at WHO standards. So this is not trying to put anyone out of work. We are just trying simply to become a pharmaceutical manufacturing country that is capable of exporting. That is the bigger picture. We don't want Kenya to lag behind on this particular point. And in fact, if you want to confirm, Kenya has been trying since the last parliament to achieve this status. And in fact, I can bring the attention of Honorable Kaluma to what we call Kenya's Strategic Health Plan. If you read it, since the last parliament, we've been trying to achieve that. And I must commend the chairperson of the Health Committee because he is trying to make sure that we achieve something we have failed to do in the last 6 years. And for that, I kindly persuade Honorable Kaluma to rethink and be guided.
Honorable members, allow me to put the question on this. I put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have another amendment. Honorable Otiende Amolo, your amendment by this being carried, yours will fall. Because you wanted to amend you wanted to amend paragraph J, and the import of this being carried is that yours is dropped. Honorable Oluoch, yours falls. Honorable Tiende, I have your amendment here, and you say the amendment is on clause 2, which has already been amended by 8.2 by that amendment by the chair being carried.
Chair, I actually have the benefit of having discussed this with Dr. Pukose, and we are in agreement. It's only that procedurally we had to move. I had initially thought that the suggestion by the Honorable Gikaria would carry us faster. That is, where there's an amendment proposed by the chair and there's a discussion to improve it, if you then allow the chair himself to move a further amendment, rather than even me moving an amendment after, it would be faster. And my understanding, Chair, my understanding first, there's a grave clerical error in this amendment number 8.2. If you look at the original, the provisions in the bill, it does not amend H. H reads exactly the way it reads in the bill. And therefore, my amendment, my further amendment would still be relevant in respect of the bill itself. And my amendment on that bill, and we're in agreement with Dr. Pukose, is only this. The clause H, 8.2H, mistakenly talks of Council of County Governors. While we all know
which one are you reading on about Tiende? Is it the bill or the amendment? Because we've already put the question on the amendment by the chair.
I'm on the bill, and they read exactly the same. In the bill, 8.2H is exactly what is 8.2J of the bill. On that, there is no amendment. What was amended was the numbering, and therefore the substantive amendment on 8.2J still remains relevant.
It doesn't remain relevant, Honorable Otiende, because I know you know this. We've already carried the amendment by the chair. So we cannot refer then to J on the bill, because the amendment has been passed.